Hello, 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 and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah, and I'm a master manifester, and I'm sure you are too, because you're watching content like this. The name of this channel is Holistic Manifesting because I believe in the whole body, whole mind, and whole being experience when it comes to manifesting these amazing lives that we're choosing. What I'm talking about today is how to be positive and confident, right? Being positive and confident is not only about just expressing an outward appearance to other people and just like showing up and performing. It's about your internal landscape and how you can improve it to where you can be more successful in life and you can attract more of those things organically that you would like to experience more of. Instead of doing force, right? If we're positive and confident, a lot of things come to us. It's just the truth. It's the truth. Right? So I have these 10 things that I wrote down, ways that I keep positive and that I remain confident, right, on a regular basis. Number one is primarily over anything else that I can tell you today, anything else that I can share, I focus on myself. And I don't say I focus on myself in a very selfish way because, well, I have kids and stuff. I have to spend my time focused on what other people need throughout some part of the day. But when I say focused on myself, I focus on my own abilities, my own talents, my own shortcomings, my own areas of, of improvement and all those things. I don't spend my time focused on what other people are doing, how they can do something different in their lives. And to be honest with you, most of the time I take people for face value. If they show me something specific about who they are and I'm like, oh, that's what they showed, I'm not going to fight and sit to dissect it. I'm just going to take it as is, right? And so I don't spend a lot of time trying to dissect what people are and what they aren't and whether they're good enough to be in my company and all this kind of stuff, right? I just genuinely focus on myself and the people and places and things that come around in that space. I know that they're in alignment with those the positive mindset that I've been cultivating over time, right? I focus on my own shortcomings. I don't even in relationships or connections or friendships, whatever like that. My whole purpose of always connecting with people and anytime there's conflict or something that happens, the first thing I do is go, what am I doing in this situation? How am I participating? How am I making this situation a lot more challenging than what it actually has to be, right? Focus on yourself. That's not saying act like other people don't exist, but stop worrying about what other people are doing. Stop worrying about whether they got a job, lost a job, have a man, don't have a man, got a woman, lost a woman, divorced, married, had children out of wedlock. Nothing that anybody's doing is new. Focus on yourself. Number two, to be positive and confident is create routines that you can stick to. What I found with myself is that I have this thing that I do and I call it 10 before 10. And it's because I wear my Fitbit. So it's like, I always want to get my 10,000 steps in before 10 a.m. in the morning. And the reason why is because if I don't do it before 10 a.m., it starts lingering throughout my day and everything that I need to work on and do and interact with and related to my children and all that kind of stuff or work, it is a distraction. And then I find myself 9:30, 10 o'clock at night trying to get those steps in on a piece of exercise equipment, right? When 10 before 10 makes me feel so good. I accomplished it today. So I'm feeling confident and positive and very happy and free. And it's because when we create these little routines for ourselves, it shows us that we are not letting ourselves down, that we can be there for ourselves, that we can stand up for ourselves, and that we can support ourselves, right? Because a lot of times we run around here talking about support from other people when we did no work in being consistent at something for ourselves. We haven't even showed up for ourselves and we want other people to show up better and bigger than what we can do for ourselves, right? So like little routines you can stick to, something that may be like exercising 3 times a week or either just your daily thing, right? In the morning, a routine you can stick to is like, oh yeah, don't grab your phone first. Go brush your teeth first, go wash your face, go put your coffee on maybe, and then wake your kids up and then grab your phone. Just those small little things like that, if I put it into place, I feel better because I walk away thinking like, dang, I set a standard for myself and I actually met that standard, right? So you just want to keep that. It's so important. Create a routine that you can stick to because every time you win, it's like you go bing, you gain a new token like on a video game and you feel better and better and better about yourself. Number 3 is eat well. That's a huge one. I've noticed it in myself. If I'm eating poorly or I'm eating food that's just not good for me or not valuable to my body, I feel like crap. I want to sleep all day. I want to crash. It's just not a good experience. You want to make sure that you are eating clean food as much as possible. Now, mind you, I have processed things every so often because sometimes it's just easier and faster and quicker. Like something I do often is put these little tempura shrimp from Trader Joe's in the air fryer and eat them. And yes, it's processed or whatever, but that might be the only processed thing I'll have that day. And it doesn't give me the slump. It doesn't make me want to go take a nap. It doesn't make me feel like I just want to quit for the rest of the day and, take off work. It doesn't make me feel like I don't want to exercise. It always lifts me up. You want food that keeps you glowing and that keeps your skin looking good and healthy and shiny, and it keeps your teeth looking bright and white, all that wonderful stuff, right? You want to also, number 4 is you want to lift others up as much as possible. That is a huge self-esteem booster, a confidence booster. The number one thing I notice about people when they are not confident and when they are not positive is that they have a hard time giving anybody else their flowers. They have a hard time giving anybody else credit for anything. I've been in relationships with people that are full-fledged, never validated anybody around them for their accomplishments, right? It'll be a one token person that they say one nice thing about, but everybody else who's actually working hard, trying to accomplish things, being all these things, they won't have anything to say about what those people are doing, right? And so be the opposite of that, right? You don't want to be a person that seems like you have low self-worth and low self-esteem because you can't give a compliment to someone else. Be the opposite of that. To be positive and confident means that when you are giving yourself away to other people, when you are sharing your good positive energy, you don't feel negative about it because you know that it's something you have an abundance of. You can give it away. You have an abundance of positivity, of compliments, of support and encouragement. You have an abundance of it. So you're not sitting around going, well, I would say something positive to them if they said something positive to me. You know how many times I didn't hear people talk like that? Lots of people. Well, I would get her a gift if she got me a gift. I would call her on her birthday if she called me on my birthday. Look, if you're not putting stuff out there, then don't expect to receive it from anybody, right? Lift others up as much as possible because you yourself wish that you were being lifted up just as much too. Give others that lift and validation that you know yourself that you want to. It completely expands your confidence. While you're giving it to them and you're thinking, oh, it's going to help their confidence, it does. What it shows the universe is that you have such an abundance of confidence that you have your own and you have a bunch to share with everybody else, right? Number 5 is listen to messages of affirmation. And when I say this, messages of affirmation, that means even the people that you have conversations with. A lot of people are interacting with people who have messages of the opposite of affirmation. They are confirming all the negative things that this person might believe about themselves or believe about the world or believe about their interactions or believe about their childhood. Sometimes we listen to these messages and they run too deep. So you want to make sure you I used to have my own affirmations because I was just saying affirmation in general of just positive things, reinforcing the beautiful things about yourself that you already know exist, right? But I was just going to say, I created my own affirmations a long time ago, and I have just about everything in those affirmations. I don't use them anymore, but I was just thinking I'm going to make myself some new affirmations more recently. But it was even down to the color of the vehicle that I still drive to this day, right? And I made those affirmations because hearing them in my own voice, it made me even more convinced that I was supporting and showing up for myself, and I'm affirming my own good, and that all was going to be well, right? Number 6 is don't entertain, and this piggybacks off the last one, people, places, and things that don't align. I just noticed recently, we can have people around us all the time, every day, and they cannot think the way that we do, and they can value different things, right? But when these people have a prevailing message that devalues who you are at your essence, it eventually starts to negatively impact you. And you realize that you can't hang in those spaces. So while you may not be so impacted to where you just want to give up on life or your dreams or your hopes and all that kind of stuff, you know that their negative affirmation in your life is not going to create what you want to experience. And really, you're going against the grain. It's like, why swim upstream? Being around people, places, and things that are not in alignment with where you're trying to head to in life is just swimming upstream. It's like, what do we get out of that? You like when you're young and you're hungry, you don't know you're swimming upstream. But when you get older and you start to like experience life and you're not like in survival mode all the time, it's like, dude, that's swimming upstream. Why would I do that? I can just go to another job. Why would I put up with this crazy person? I can just get a new position. Why would I put up with this relationship? I can just go to another one. People are thinking that way too much. I think people are thinking that one way too much, right? But it just goes into alignment, right? How are these things working in your life? Are they positively impacting you? Or are they just weighing you down? Because a lot of people, places, and things, their conversations, it'll just weigh you down, right? Number 7 is dress to impress. A lot of people underestimate this, right? I've always been a dresser because I like to dress. I've always been a dresser. It's not because I've always felt like insecure if I wasn't dressed. I'll go out in this with, joggers on and this tank, and a hoodie. I'll do that all the time too. But I'm always going to make sure I'm clean. Everything is together. I got, my earrings on or something, my teeth brushed. Something's got to be happening to let the world know that I just didn't roll out of bed and just stump out of the house, right? My eyes are going to be clean, my face, and all those things are important to me. I'm going to be moisturized. You're going to see my skin kind of shine when I move around, because we need to dress to impress. And because the world is kind of shallow sometimes, and a lot of people think, oh, I don't want to operate in that space, right? But it's not even about the other people so much as it about you, right? However you feel when you are dressed to impress. I have daughters who have very different definitions of what being dressed is. If I say get dressed for Thanksgiving, it's going to be 2 completely different outfits, right? One of them is going to look like grunge from the 90s, and the other one is going to look like Clueless from the 90s. Maybe that was in the early 2000s, right? That's how she's going to be dressed. Completely in opposite ends of the spectrum. But one thing that is true about both of them in those moments when I let them like get dressed, moisturize, clean, blah, 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 they feel good about themselves, and it expresses everywhere they go. When they go in businesses, people treat them well. When they're walking through where we live at in the building, going to the mailroom and all that kind of stuff, people treat them like little princesses, and that's how I want it to be, because they exude that they care about themselves. Dress like you want people to see that you care about the way you look, right? And this is the last thing I'm going to say about dress. I had this position where it was supposed to be a position in a business place, and nobody was wearing like business clothing. I didn't know this. And so when I started, I was in full business attire, right? And what's so crazy is that it made people so uncomfortable that some of them actually started wearing my similar attire, right? And they also started telling everybody about the way that they dress and how it's not good enough and how they need to change their appearance. And it was all because one person showed up and who was way too advanced in the dress department, but it improved the space, right? So we have to keep that in mind. Dressing to impress is not just about clothing. It's about the full presentation of your avatar. You give a damn, right? Number 8 is clean yourself regularly. This will keep you positive and confident. I noticed, so there's some adults who don't take showers regularly. I didn't know this. I was just on some Reddit threads the other day in Quora, and I was reading there's people that like take showers like every 3-4 days, whatever. I don't smell most adults, so do you. I don't care. But what I'm saying is that when you're in this space, pay attention. How you feel when you get freshly cleaned and how you feel when you have taken a shower in 3 days, right? See how you feel. I remember raising children very early on. When you're a new mother, somebody told me this when I was younger, and it made me so mad, but it was kind of true. You're really there to take crap. I don't want to say the S word, because you literally got stuff coming out of every orifice. You got a baby hanging on you. You got stuff coming from after the baby came out. You got a spouse that's, trying to use your other orifices because they don't really give a damn that you're going through a lot with having this baby take over your whole body, right? We already know lots of people don't get it. So what I'm saying is that when I used to have a moment where I could actually just take a shower and have that own time, and I came out, I felt like a whole new woman, right? And it just really, really reminded me of how fresh and how good I feel about myself when I get into a shower and rinse off all of the day's negative energy and rinse off all of the dirt that I've collected from all of the people that I've been around throughout the day, and touching doorknobs and touching railings and opening handles and all these sort of things. Yeah, we need to be clean. And I think being clean definitely promotes positivity and confidence, right? Number 7 is clean your space. That's a huge one, right? My daughter used to try to get me to watch Hoarders. I watched it once, a few episodes. I can't. And it's not I can't because I'm a neat freak. I can't because I can't understand that level of dysfunction when it comes to being clean. I'm like, but your body and things will itch. They'll crawl into your ears and all this. And what about the children and the babies that are in that space, in the smell, the pollution? There's so much happening on hoarders. Like, I know that's extreme, but cleaning your space is a huge deal, right? And when I talk about cleaning your space, it's like getting up in the morning and making your bed immediately, and then just making sure there's not a bunch of junk on the floor, and just making sure that if you have clothing that is kind of all stacked in one place. Like, I'm an excellent straightener upper. I go through and I straighten up constantly all during the week. So like, if I want to go ahead and do a big clean, it'll be probably on the weekend. And sometimes, because not a lot is moving around here, and I don't have a lot of stuff, I make sure I don't have a lot of stuff. You can see I have stuff on my walls. That's my children's art back there, and that's a mirror I've been having since my daughter was a newborn baby. Like, I don't have a lot of stuff, and this couch is probably something that's, you know, something I hold on to. I don't like a lot of stuff. I don't like dragging things. I don't like dusting them. I don't like any of that. So when I do a little straighten up, it keeps me good for a couple of weeks. So clean your space. It will make you feel like a brand new person walking out the door when you come back home to a space that's ready for you to relax in, right? And then number 10 is exercise. Exercising releases those endorphins, and it also releases serotonin, and it improves your overall feeling and well-being. And it's so true. Whenever I'm working out or exercising and I'm not really getting it in all the way, I just immediately start running. It's something I do. So I walk a lot, and I, do all kinds of other exercises. But if I feel that it's not kicking in all the way, I just immediately start running. It's because the exercising has such a positive impact on my whole body and my whole well-being and my mindset. It makes me feel like I'm ahead of the game. And if you feel like you're ahead of the game, confidence and positivity are so easy to come by, right? And just keep that in mind. I find when I was growing up, a lot of people, a lot of girls were so focused on their individual features in their face and how they looked and whether or not they should feel confident about themselves. Man, if I would have known then what I know now, but you just don't know, right? I would have never, ever spent 2 seconds on thinking less than myself in any given moment, in any given time, because other people will let you feel less than yourself. They'll let you do that. So keeping these things in order, so like this 1 through 10, to feel positive and confident, you just want to make sure that you're keeping these things in your life in at the forefront. Because the minute you start letting yourself and letting what's a priority for you fall by the wayside, then you no longer have that confidence that you need in order to be successful and grow and to expand. And this is the last one. This is a bonus. Get a hobby. I find, okay, my confidence and positivity is extremely expanded in the things that I do just for fun, and it's for no good reason, right? One of those things I do is skating. I love skating, right? I should do it to exercise, but I really don't do it to exercise. I skate because it's just fun. I never ever got past the feeling of wanting to skate and be on trampolines as a kid and climbing trees. Like, those are my top 3. If I could, do something more often, it's climbing trees, especially the huge ones where the branches alone, you can jump right into them. And then like skating more often, all the time. That's something that I super hugely enjoyed, right? And then jumping on trampoline, that used to be like heaven to me, right? And so we just have to remember, keep those hobbies. I do puzzles a lot. I've shared that too. That's something that makes me feel like I got my own thing. When you feel like you got your own things, like your own life, you got your own village, you got your own home, you got your own family, you got your own traditions, you got your own rules, you got your own ways, you feel super confident and positive because you created that based on experiencing the contrast and negativity in different environments, and then further developing yourself and moving and positioning yourself towards those things that truly make you feel positive and confident. So we want to keep that as our primary focus, right? So anyway, these are my 10 ways and my one bonus way to feel more positive and confident in your everyday life. I hope you enjoy these and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.